What's up, guys? So I wanted to get something out to you guys because I have some really exciting news, and I just kind of want to update you guys on our trying to conceive journey and kind of get us all on the same page, and so you guys are kind of up to date as we are up to date as well. So I wanted to get something out to you guys sooner, but I was going into the doctor at least 4 times a week for the past 2 weeks. So I think I've been there 8 to 10 times since I ended my Femara. I got checked, like went in for a checkup and everything. And it was just a lot to try to keep up with, and it was kind of all the same thing because nothing was changing. So I did get footage of some of our visits. So some of the visits that I went to, I did like take some video, update you guys, but I didn't do it for every single visit because, like I said, it was just too much, and it was too much of the same thing. Like, I felt like I really didn't have much to share. So before I get to the exciting news, I am going to show you guys some of that footage and kind of get you up to date to where we are today. So enjoy these videos. What's up, guys? So I am currently sitting in the parking lot at my fertility doctor, and today I am going in for an ultrasound, and they're actually going to do a saline ultrasound. So that is where they can actually, like, they have a better view of my ovaries and how everything looks and that kind of thing. And then I just finished on Tuesday. I finished my Femara. I was taking 5 milligrams a day of Femara. This is my first time taking Femara. I've heard that some people have success with Femara, some people don't. Just like with Clomid, some people have success and some people don't. So yeah, I'm also getting a follicle scan today, so we will see how my follicles look and if I'm going to be ovulating soon. And then if everything looks good, I will be getting a trigger shot. They said something about possibly me getting it today, but there's a chance it might be a couple days, and we're not 100% sure. But that's kind of where I'm at right now with our trying to conceive journey and what's next. But I will jump back on here and let you guys know how my appointment goes. All right, guys, so I am home from my doctor's appointment, and I have good news and I have bad news. So let's go with the good news first. Like I told you guys, I was having a saline ultrasound, so that is where they have to put I didn't know all the details before, so I can share the details with you now. That is where they take a catheter and actually put it in my uterus, and they release saline water into the uterus so they can get a better image of my uterus. So they actually checked my tubes and my uterus to make sure that my tubes were clear and my uterus didn't have any like polyps or anything that would prevent me from getting pregnant or having a successful pregnancy. So that was the good news, is everything was good. There was nothing that alarmed them or anything like that. So that means everything looks good, and I'm really happy about that because I was a little bit nervous and scared, like, what if something's wrong? What if this is more serious than we thought it was? Everything was good. Okay, so I also had a follicle scan today, and there were no follicles that were mature. So I had lots of follicles, but none of them were mature enough, so obviously I won't be ovulating anytime soon. So I go back in on Sunday for just another checkup of my follicles to see if any of them have grown or if it's changed at all. If it has changed, then we'll just proceed how we plan to do. If it has not changed, they are going to give me another dose of Femara and kind of like tricking my body to get itself to ovulate, to release an egg. So yeah, that's where we're at now. I won't post this video until we get more information and kind of have a better idea with what the next steps are. So I'll let you guys know how my appointment goes Sunday, and I will let you know if everything looks good for ovulating or if we're moving forward with another round of Femara. So yeah, that's all for now. All right, guys, so I just wanted to get on here and kind of update you. I know that I said I would update you on Sunday, but I went in for my appointment and there really wasn't a change on Sunday. They just did another ultrasound. They were checking to see if I had any follicles growing, and unfortunately I didn't. So what they did was they drew blood and then called me later that day, and they upped my letrozole. So they have me taking a higher dosage and to kind of see if that is going to work. But I had to go in again today, which is Tuesday. Still, same thing. It doesn't seem like my body's really responding to the medication. I'm not having any of my, there seems to not be any follicles growing. So now the next step is I will start giving myself injections. So I'm going to be taking a low dosage of Gonal F. So this is completely new for me. I've never, ever given myself any injection. So I will have to give myself that tonight, and I will make sure I video it to show you guys how that goes. But I'm a little disappointed. You know, I really thought my body did respond to Clomid and I would ovulate, but now it seems like nothing's even happening with letrozole, which is unfortunate, but we will see if including the injections, if that does anything, or if we don't really see a change, we're just gonna scrap everything and start all over, which I really don't wanna do, but if that's what we have to do, it's what we have to do. All right, guys, so I am about to take my Gonal F. I actually have to give myself a shot, and I'm really nervous. So, let's see if I can do this right. So it's a pretty easy, like a ready, they call it a ready jet. So you just, there's like a bar here. I know you guys can't really see that, but there's like a bar there that I just turn and set it to what I'm giving myself. So mine is a low dose of 50. Which I probably should turn that back and not do that until I get the needle on. So just pop this open. Nervous over nothing, but that's it, and I will have to do another one of those tomorrow, and then I have another doctor's appointment on Thursday to see how that is working for me. So yeah, thanks guys. So it is now Sunday. I know I was here last Sunday at the doctor's. I was at the doctor's on Tuesday, and I was also at the doctor's again on Thursday because they are trying to watch my follicles grow and see if they're growing, and they don't want too many to grow. So I came in this morning, and I have been using Gonal F, which I believe I mentioned before. They started me at a lower dosage of 50 units, and then my follicles really weren't doing anything, so they bumped it up to 100. And now we're actually seeing a change, and they're starting to grow, and they're getting where they need to be, which is so exciting because I literally feel like all I've been doing the last week is coming to the doctor, getting my blood drawn, getting ultrasounds, and getting bad news. So it's so refreshing to like finally get good news. And I've just been praying and believing, like, God, please let there be something today, like let something change, and something did. So I'm so excited and just so thankful. So what they're gonna do is I will continue for the next couple of days taking 50 units of Gonal F, and then they wanted to lower my dosage because, again, they don't want things to go crazy in there. But what is going to happen next is I will, again, take 50 units of Gonal F until either Tuesday or Wednesday. I will come back in and get an ultrasound and see how things are doing, to see if my follicles are still growing, if they're where they need to be yet. She thinks they'll probably be where they need to be by Wednesday, but she wants to see me on Tuesday just in case. I'll also be getting a phone call from them just because they took my blood again today, and they want to make sure, like, checking my hormone levels and stuff like that, if this is the next step, which they think it will be. So yeah, I think that's all. I will update you guys again. Hopefully it'll be good news and I can get a video out to you guys and just update you and let you guys know how everything's going. All right, so I hope this video has kind of helped you guys get up to speed to kind of where we're at today. So as you saw in the videos, I went in for kind of the same thing for multiple days. They would draw my blood to see how my estrogen levels were, and they would do an ultrasound to see if my follicles were growing. They did start me on injections, as you guys saw in the video, and they started me on a super low dose of Gonal F, and they would up it as they would see my follicles growing, and then they would like bump it back down, because you have to be super careful when you're messing with Gonal F or any fertility medication, because it can, I think it's called hyperstimulate your ovaries, and you could have like so many follicles grow, and then you're kind of in this situation where you can't move forward because you're basically gonna have a litter. So anyways, they literally had to watch every little move, and I'm sure some of you out there are very familiar with this, and this is probably nothing new for you, but it was very new for me, and honestly it was just a lot for me to take in because I wasn't really prepared. I wasn't expecting that, because most of my visits have been super like minimal at my previous doctor. But I was actually very thankful, because every time I went in, I was seeing my doctor, we were talking, she knew like exactly my plan, like what we were doing. So you guys have seen most of that in that video. So I went in today, and they, again, blood work and an ultrasound. But we were hoping today that I was like ready. My follicles were growing. I had at least a couple that were a good size. And we're very excited because I actually have 3 follicles that are of, I think 2 of them were around 17. And then there was one that was maybe around like 14, so a little bit smaller. I know there was one that she wasn't 100% confident in, but all you need is 1, okay? So really excited about 3 mature follicles. So now what we were doing is, guys, I apologize. I move my hands a lot. I talk with my hands. If that bothers you guys, I am so sorry. It's so funny because I'll watch my videos later on and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I moved my hands so much. But it's just kind of what I do. I kind of just talk with my hands. So anyways, that was a side note, but I'm really sorry about that. But it's probably not going to change. Reel it back into where we were. So went in, follicles, they were growing, everything looked great. So excited because it's like I've been 8 to 10 times in the past 2 weeks, and literally it was never good news. Like sometimes I'd go in there and the follicle hadn't even grown. None of the follicles had grown from like the previous 2 days, like my last scan, and it was getting really discouraging because there was talk about, you know, we might have to just start this whole process over. And for anyone who has done any kind of fertility treatment or gone to like a specialist, you know this isn't cheap. Anyways, we wanted this to work, and we had already put a lot into the first cycle, and I'm like, into this cycle, and I'm like, no, like, let's make this work. Let's make this happen. So I went in today, and same thing as always. But our doctor has decided that we are actually doing an IUI. So before it was gonna be timed intercourse, and now it is an IUI. So we'll go in, we have to get a procedure, and if you don't know what an IUI looks like, I really don't feel like explaining that on my YouTube channel, but you can Google it. But so now, like, my plan of action from today up until Sunday is tonight I have to do one more shot of 50 units of Gonal-F. Tomorrow evening, I think at like 10 p.m., I will give myself my trigger shot. And a trigger shot is basically what makes your body ovulate. And then Saturday, nothing, like, don't do anything, no medication, nothing. And then Sunday morning, Jordan goes in first, early that morning around 8 a.m. And then we go in at 10, and that's when the insemination takes place. So I'm really excited about like the IUI, because that's actually the plan of action that I wanted to take in the beginning, but my doctor didn't mention that that was going to take place. But today she actually said, you know, it's your choice, but I would recommend the IUI. So after realizing that our insurance will cover most of it, and since we've met our deductible, we were like, let's just do it. Let's see what happens. And yeah, so I have high hopes, guys. Like, I know sometimes it's like premature and you really just, you don't know what's gonna happen. But I have high hopes, and I can't wait to get this video out to you guys and just share with you that this is the next step, and I will get as much footage as I can on Sunday, and that'll be my next video, is our first IUI. But thank you guys. Thank you everyone. Like, I have received so much encouragement from people I don't even know, and that means so much to me. Like, that truly means so much to me. So anyways, I don't want this video to be too long, but as always, if you haven't subscribed, please click down below and subscribe to my channel. You can also click the bell button down below and you'll get notifications. So if you're watching this, if you click that bell button, you'll get notifications for anytime I post a video, including our upcoming first IUI. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fabulous day. That was cheesy.